Welcome back to the Maelstrom, ladies and gentlemen. We have another Warhammer 40k battle report for you today. 2,000 points, Black Templars versus Tyranids. We are playing out of Chapter Approved 2017. Our mission is Dominate and Destroy. The Tyranids will be in this corner, and the Black Templar will be in this corner. So we have 6 objectives scattered across the table. These objectives score 1 point at the end of each turn, and then you also score 1 point for each unit that you destroy. And then First Blood, Linebreaker, and Warlord are scored as normal. You've seen the table. We'll be back with the armies.
The Black Templar will be organized into a battalion. The first HQ and the Warlord will be Helbricht, and he comes stock with Oathkeeper for his Warlord trait. Second HQ is an Emperor's Champion. Our third HQ is a newly minted Primaris Chaplain, and he will be wearing a Crusader's helm as a relic. Then for troops, I have 2 squads of 9 Crusaders. They come equipped with a power sword and a plasma gun each, and a squad of 6 Crusaders with a power sword, plasma gun, and heavy bolter, and they are all equipped with bolters. In the elites, I have a squad of 9 Reavers. And then I have a Company Ancient equipped with a Combi Plasma, and he is carrying the standard of the Emperor Ascendant. For fast attacks, I have a squad of 10 Assault Marines with 3 Plasma Pistols, and the Sergeant also has a Power Sword and a Combat Shield, and a squad of 3 Inceptors with Assault Bolters. For heavies, I have a squad of Devastators with 4 Missile Launchers and an Armorium Cherub. And then in the transport category, I have a pair of Rhinos, a twin-linked heavy bolter Razorback, and rounding out the last unit in the list, a repulsor with all of its anti-infantry firepower.
Today we are dusting off our Kraken Swarm. We are going to be playing 2 detachments. We have a battalion detachment and a spearhead. For the spearhead, we have the Warlord and the Hive Tyrant. He is going to be carrying 4 Death Spitters. He also has adrenal glands, and his psychic powers are Catalyst and Horror, and his artifact is Adaptive Camouflage. He's joined by a Trigon Prime and 2 Carnifexes with 4 Death Spitters each and all of the survivability gear, adrenal glands, and then they've also got their toxin sacks. Over in our toxin cysts, spore cysts, whatever they're called. Codex isn't in front of me. So battalion, we then have a Neurithrope and a Broodlord that will be leading those. The Neurithrope has the Horror and the Broodlord has Onslaught. They're going to be backed up by 2 squads of 4 Zoanthropes, one of which has Psychic Scream, the other has Paroxysm. In the troops, we have 2 squads of 10 Gene Stealers, 2 squads of 20 Hormagaunts, and then we have 30 Devil Gaunts stretched across the front here. We also have 3 Venom Thropes. They are tucked away in the back there, hiding behind the Hive Tyrant. That should do it for the Tyranids. You have seen the armies, and you have seen the table. We will be back as we get stuck into the Maelstrom. Initial deployment is complete. Josh finished first. He's going to walk us down his Templar setup.
So we put the Inceptors in Deep Strike for late game long reach objective grabs and some unpredictable anti-infantry fire. The Emperor's Champion is in the Rhino with the Crusade squad up in the rocks. The Ancient is in the Razorback with the Bolter squad. Helbricht is in the squad up front here in the Rhino with the squad. I put my Assault Marines on my far left, spread out my Devastators on my baseline because there are 30 Devil Gaunts out there. And I don't know if you guys have seen what 90 Bolter shots will do to infantry, but it ain't pretty. The Repulsor, I have all of the Reavers and the Primaris Chaplain riding in.
Alright, over here on the Tyranid side, we got the Carnifexes on our far right with the first squad of Hormagaunts stretched out here to get back to the Toxin bubble. The rest of the army, you'll notice a theme there, are all within that bubble as well. We have the Zoanthropes and the Neurothrope clustered around them. The 2 Gene Stealer squads directly in front of them, and the 2nd Hormagaunt squad stretched around this flank. We also have the Broodlord tucked in right here. We then have the Hive Tyrant sweeping in, the Trigon Prime tunneling, and his Devil Gaunt buddies will be following him up out of the hole. So the Black Templars did finish first. They're going to get +1 to their initial roll here. A 2, so they're looking at a 3. Bugs are going to need a 4 to take it away. A 6 will do it. Bugs are going to go first. We will be back after Tyranid. Turn 1. Tyranids have wrapped up turn 1. There will not be an assault phase. We attempted a couple of charges, which we will talk about, but they were unable to hit home. Down here, we went ahead and moved forward with everything, using our Kraken advance to get as far forward as possible. Opportunistic advance fell to these guys. They did roll a 4, so they got an 8-inch advance and got out ahead of everybody else. The Zoanthropes, Neurothropes, and Venomthropes moved up here into the center, and the other squad of Hormagaunts made a huge run and moved forward here to claim objectives along with the other Gene Stealers. Psychic phase, we were able to smite with each squad of Zoanthropes. We did 6 points to the Razorback and 5 to the Rhino on top. The Broodlord then smote here for 2. We then took a pathogenic slime on one of the Carnifexes, and he was able to wreck the Razorback. The other fired here and was able to cut down 2 of the Assault Marines. One of the Marines here did die in the explosion of the vehicle, but they are standing strong behind with the banner getting ready to rally there. We went ahead, like I said, and moved everything forward. The tunneling stuff and the winged stuff is waiting for a more opportune moment to land. So that is going to be it for the end of Tyranids for turn 1. However, it was a big turn points-wise. We capped 5 of the 6 objectives. The Razorback is worth 1, and the Razorback is worth first blood. So it is a 7-0 lead for the Tyranids. They've jumped out to a sizable lead, but the Templars are set up to deliver some damage back here with some shooting and close combat. So we're going to go into their turn 1 and see what happens next.
Alright, so the Black Templar are up to the assault phase. In the shooting, the Devastators and the Reavers combined their firepower to knock down the Venomthropes. The Devastators didn't do a whole lot, but the Reavers came up big with like 8 wounds, and the Venomthropes just collapsed under the bolter fire. The vast majority of everyone else, both the Crusader squads, Hellbrick, and both of the Rhinos fired on the Gene Stealers in the middle, left 3 survivors. The Repulsor fired on the Zoanthropes and managed to get 1 wound on 1 guy. Kind of fell asleep at the wheel there. I think he only converted to like 5 wounds total. The Assault Squad fired all of their shots on the Carnifex there on the end, but weren't able to convert anything there. The bolt pistols from the Crusade squad in the middle managed to get 6 of the little bugs on that flank, which opened up the Rhino assaulting the Carnifex. The assault squad got a double charge on the Carnifex and the little bugs. The Crusade squad here in the middle charged the little bugs. Hellbrick charged into the Gene Stealers. The Reavers attempted to charge and fell flat twice to get to the Gene Stealers, but the Crusade squad on this side did make it into those 3. And the Emperor's Champion made a suicide 11-inch to get into the last 3 survivors from the other Gene Stealer squad, and the Rhino made a charge on the little bugs on this end.
Alright, going into the assault phase. We'll be back once that's done.
Okay, so assault phase winds down. The Assault Marines contributed with the Crusade squad to knock down all but 3 of the Hormagaunts that were in that squad. They also knocked a wound out of the Carnifex and lost 1 of their number in return. The Crusade squad lost 1 of their number to the Hormagaunts' attacks. The Crusade squad that charged the 3 survivors of Gene Stealers wiped them out and consolidated in, but the other Crusade squad killed everybody out before they got hit by anything, so they took no casualties, and neither did Hellbrick. The Emperor's Champion cut down 1 Gene Stealer and lost a wound in the process, and the Rhino took 2 wounds from the Hormagaunts.
Alright, so that's the end of turn 1. It is 7-5 currently in favor of the Tyranids. Tyranid reinforcements are arriving, and we will be back once they have finished turn 2. Tyranids are done with turn 2 up to the assault phase. We went ahead and fell back with Carnifex and moved his buddy around the corner of the Rhino with him. We tunneled in here with the Trigon Prime and his Gaunts, and we brought the Hive Tyrant down from swooping to this point. We went ahead and moved the Broodlord forward along with the Zoanthropes. The 3 Hormagaunts fell back, no point in getting slaughtered when they can hold an objective for 1 more turn. And these Hormagaunts fell back from combat as well. In the Psychic phase, we kind of went crazy. The first Psychic power that we cast was Smite, which he did cancel with Deny the Witch. We followed that up with another Smite that killed 4 Marines, a Psychic Shriek that killed 3 more, and then down here, the Broodlord smote and rolled an 11 and killed 4 more. 3 of the assault marines went down to shooting from the devil gaunts. The devil gaunts also fired to this end with the rest of their shots and killed 5 of the devastators plus their cherub. And then the Hive Tyrant took a pathogenic slime and cut down 3 of the Reavers. They were able to shoot with their banner ability and kill 1 of the 2 Gene Stealers. The other one was killed on Overwatch when he tried to lock Helbricht up. We were hoping to catch that Melt-A-Gun for Overwatch for the Broodlord, but had to take the chance at that point. We were able to make it through the Overwatch with him. He is charging into Helbricht. These Zoanthropes are charging into the lone survivor here, and the other squad is charging into the survivors here. Down here we locked up the Emperor's Champion and the Rhino. We already made that move. Down here we made the charge with the Trigon Prime and 1 of the Carnifexes into this Rhino. The other Carnifex charged around the end and charged into these guys to lock them up. So we got several charges to work through here, and then we will be back with the end of turn 2 for the Tyranids. Alright, Tyranids are done with the assault phase. Carnifexes were unable to get anything done. We did do 1 wound here with Smashing Bulk. We then put the Trigon in, scored 2 wounds, and rolled 2 1s. He continues to fail to impress. Right here, the Zoanthropes were able to smash 1 of the 2 Marines with telekinetic blasts in close combat, and the other did fail his morale and flee the field. This Marine, however, took 2 points because he is within 3 of the objective, and he's going to score another point there unless those Zoanthropes can do something about him in the Black Templar turn. The Devastators rolled a 5 on their morale, which would have left 2 of them. He rolled it again on They Shall Know No Fear and rolled a 6 and lost all but 1 of the missile launchers. Down here we did lock up the Rhino and the Emperor's Champion. Lost 3 Hormagaunts total, but did not do any damage in return. And the Broodlord was able to knock down Helbricht and consolidate it back here towards this combat. So that is it for Tyranids. The Tyranids are going to rack up another 6 points that turn because we hold 3 objectives. We hold the one here under the Rhino because we have 2 guys on it. Hold this one. We did abandon this one by accident, but we are holding this one. And we did score 2 points for Helbricht and 1 point for the Marine squad here. So that's 13-5 in favor of the Tyranids. Black Templar, turn 2, coming up next.
Okay, so the Black Templar are up to the assault phase. We combined all the shooting that we could put down and knocked down 2 Zoanthropes and left 1 member of the squad at 1 wound, and the assault marines fell back from combat, overcharged their plasma, and knocked 2 wounds out of the Broodlord. Not much else for the shooting, not much else left in the army. But the Ancient made a charge into the 4-man squad. The Reavers and the Chaplain made a charge into the 2-man survivor squad there. So hopefully we'll get them in combat.
Alright, and we are also going to be heroically intervening with the Broodlord. So that's going to be up to the assault phase. We will be back once that is finished.
Close combat comes to an end. The Trigon finally came up with what his Silent Talons are supposed to do. Got 5 wounds and did like 18 damage to the Rhino. Unfortunately, it did not blow up. Would have been really nice to put some mortal wounds down on everybody around it.
Yes.
But, c'est la vie. The Broodlord heroically intervened against the 4 assault marines and chewed their heads off. They weren't able to do anything to him beforehand, unfortunately. The 4 Zoanthropes killed the plasma gunner, but he did get his banner roll off and attempted an attack and wounded 1 guy 1 time. The Reavers and the Chaplain wiped out the survivors of the wounded Zoanthrope squad. The Chaplain then consolidated into the other squad, burned our last 3 command points to attack again, but no dice, made his 3-ups. Très unfortunate, because that's enough to keep us from holding that objective for a point this turn. However, the Emperor's Champion is still hung in down here. He killed 2 Hormagaunts and took no damage in return.
Alright, so the Black Templars are going to come away with 2 points because they score on the objective that the Devastators are holding, and they score on the Zoanthropes that were appropriately purged. The Tyranids are also going to score, though. They're going to score 1 for the assault or the Crusader squad, 1 for the assault squad, and 1 for the Rhino back here. So that will make it 16-7 going into Tyranids turn 3. We're going to be back once they are finished. Tyranids have finished turn 3. We're getting ready to do some combat. We went ahead and ran with the Trigon Prime and then put Onslaught on him. So he's going to be charging into the Ancient. The Ancient took a smite that rolled an 11 and did him 3 wounds. He then tried to take himself out with a Plasma on Overwatch, or at least I'm convinced that's what he was trying to do, but was unable to do so. So the Prime is going to be locked in with him. The Broodlord is going to be charging the Reavers along with the Zoanthropes. He was set up to charge the Chaplain, but the Chaplain went down to shooting. We were able to get him with both of the Carnifexes along with the Smite from the Neurothrope. So he was able to go down there. The Termagants launched their advance and rushed across the hill here, fired all of their shots into this Marine and brought him down with the very last of them. The Hive Tyrant made an attempt. He scored 1 wound total, missed 7 times, and then of the 5 hits did 1 wound. So the guy was still there up until the last second. But he is down now. So the Hive Tyrant standing on that objective. Got a couple of combats to work here, and we will be back with the results of turn 3. Tyranid assault phase comes to an end. The Trigon Prime was able to kill the Ancient. The Broodlord brought 4 of the 6 Reavers down. The Zoanthropes weren't able to do anything in return and did not take any damage. The Reavers tried to kill one of those off, and then the last 2 rolled a 6 for their morale, re-rolled for And They Shall Know No Fear, and rolled a 6 again. Down here, the Emperor's Champion took a wound and killed a couple of bugs. So at that point, we're going to go ahead and call the game. The Tyranids just have jumped out to too big of a lead at that point to ever come back from. Scored 1 for this objective, 1 for the Hive Tyrant for this objective, a 3rd for this objective, a 4th for this objective, a 5th for the objective in the back corner with the Hormagaunts, and then we scored 6 for the Reavers, 7 for the Chaplain, 8 for the Ancient, and 9 for the Devastators. So that does make it 25-7 in favor of the Tyranids. Blew out there at the end after that initial charge that did so much damage on turn 1. We will have army lists at the blog as always. Give us a like on Facebook, a subscription on YouTube though, and a like to this video is how we know that you like what you're seeing more than anything else. To those of you who have subscribed recently, thank you. That means more than we can tell you. As always, guys, thanks for spending time with us today at the Maelstrom.